it's Cindy. Welcome back to Studioloo. I'm here today with a journal flip through for you of my Steampunk Ocean themed journal. So let's get into it. So the front of this book is sort of a collage that I've done. In the background, there are these two mermaids with their tails kind of entangled. I've added lots of metal and wood cogs around. There's layers of fabric and netting in the background and this bronze webbing here. Some old text in the back. A cog here with some, this is eco-printed bamboo silk, and this is the charm from a necklace. It's a fire opal, and there's some sequins, and there are eyelets punched in front and back to close the book. This is the spine. This is an original vintage book. I'll show you the information about it inside. I believe it's from 1947. It has this embossing on the back from the original book. So you can see the top here. It is 5 signatures. And that's what the side looks like. There's lots of little cog charms that hang out of it here. So let's get into it. Just take the tie to the back here, lie it back down. Here we go. Okay, so when you open it up, there is a coffee-dyed beautiful book plate here. There's a swan and some fish and lily pads, and then this little character here. So it's a beautiful book plate. And then as we get into the first signature, you'll see there's a lot of layering going on here. I've used a lot of different sized pages in this book. You'll also see that it's fabric bound, and it has this beautiful end paper. It's kind of a light blue with these little rose gold. It's like a netting. You'll see more at the back of the book. But anyhow, this is a pocket, and inside of it are a couple of things. So this is a journal card with some fabric stitched on the side of these squid, and this is the original book plate of this original book. It was called The Big Bonanza, and it was by Dan DeKil, and it is from 1947. So I just included that in there. You can write on the back. I thought it was just a fun little artifact. And then there are sequins and organza all stitched here. This is cabbage dyed paper and lots of fun little cutouts in this book. There's a nautilus on this page. I've used several different digitals in this book. Some are from let me think. You know what, I'll tell you later. I'm just going to get into the book. I have a terrible memory. So there are some paper fish here and little stamps. This is just kind of a little bit of like a page edge, and I stitched down it. It has steampunk themed stamps, cabbage dyed paper, little fish. This is from Raiders of the Lost Art. That's what I was trying to think of. Some digitals from Raiders of the Lost Art on Etsy. Most of the little cutouts of this nature are from there. And then this page back here with the nautilus was Louise Heinzel. See, it all comes to me eventually. I just have to warm up a little bit. And then this is some of my hand-dyed green paper and a vintage poem from an old book. Sister, a sister calling, a master, her master and mine. And the inboard seas run swirling and hauling, the rash smart sloggering brine blinds her. But she that weather sees one thing, one, has one fetch in her, she rears herself to divine. Ears and the call of the tall nun to the men in the tops and the tackle rode over the storms brawling. More of that dyed paper and a little steampunk stamp there. And this side we have kind of a layered collaged pocket that I've made with some digitals from Digital Collage Club, and this is Raiders of the Lost Art. These steampunk pages are from, I believe, Vintage by Me. As I said, there's a lot of things, and I've really mixed and matched in here, and a lot of it's book page. So this is a tag that I made. I added to this image of this woman in a clamshell. I've added some sort of steampunk feeling wheels down here and this like fan blade, and that is a journaling card. You'll see these steampunk stamps throughout, so I won't mention it every time they pop up. Then there's this pocket here made from this fish, and that's the background, this beautiful starfish. And this is from a vintage book. It's a submarine boat diagram, and it's a journaling card. Some stenciling, and some of my dyed paper with this big angelfish. And then this image of like a kraken from a vintage book. Let me snooze my alarm here. Actually, I'll just move this out of the way. And then this page, this is really fun. This opens up here. And this is journaling space. It's like a cabinet. There's a little handle there, and you see the two fish up top, and it has a little cutout, and it's actually also a pocket, and it's holding this large journal tag of a chimera, and it says, "Any creatures so beautiful." And that just tucks down in here. And then this is just a beautiful shell page, dyed paper, another beautiful page. Stenciling, shibori dyed paper with folds. Hopefully you can see like the light blue. This has been cabbage dyed. And then the center pages, some of them are from this merfolk book that I found that's really beautiful, so I used some of the pages from it. More shibori dyed paper and stenciling. Just a beautiful page. More dyed paper and seashells. I did a lot of printing already on dyed paper for fun. It was kind of a nice, it was sort of like a really nice kind of look to how the paper came out. And then this is another collaged pocket that I'd made. And then inside of it we have this, which is avocado dyed paper, and it has this printed on it, the mermaid. And that is on an original book page. And then there's this beautiful image of an octopus. These are from vintage Jacques Cousteau exploration books. Dyed paper, some stenciling, and this beautiful image of a mermaid. And then just some fun printing and stuff on some avocado dyed paper. On this side we have a collaged pocket with this fish on steampunk page, and I've made this large tag, and it has this mermaid, and it has some collaging going on, different ocean and steampunk kind of things, and it's a large journal tag. Then we have more dyed paper and another collaged page edge with some bubbles and some illustrations of ocean things, and some little fish here and a stamp. In the back of the page is this beautiful seahorse on this background, and there's some stitched on organza and sequins. This has fabric stitched on, and we have a little cog charm here, and then another collaged pocket on this beautiful background. And then this is a journal tag that I've collaged on book page with some beautiful fish. I had a lot of fun with the ephemera on this page, and also just the layering. Like you see there's book page behind this fabric, and I liked doing these edges. Added this fish here, more dyed paper, and then this is like a water lily page. It's very watercolory and pretty. This is a pocket, and inside is this image and information about a swordfish from a vintage dictionary. And then this is this beautiful like image that I found. It's like a unicorn horse kind of mermaid, and it has this beautiful metal cog that I've attached there on a map, and it actually flips up for more journaling space on both the map and this cabbage dyed log paper beneath it. And then here we have another collaged pocket on the steampunk paper, and this is a journal card that says, "The man in the moon lost no time, wind the clock, the last light from the sun," and it has this fun mermaid. Lots of collaging going on. And then this is avocado dyed paper. This is some of my rusty cog dyed paper, and you'll see some plants there as well. And then I felt like this digital just really kind of goes with this whole like feel. Cabbage dyed paper. This is from a vintage Jacques Cousteau book. A map. And then this is a beautiful image of a sailboat. It says the rippling water, and then we have a collaged pocket down here with this fish, and inside is this journal tag, and it has my eco printed fabric at the top, so that slides in there. And then I believe this is the Dumbo octopus, that cute little one. And this is cabbage dyed paper, some of my black dyed paper with this seashell paper printed on it, more of my eco printed paper, coffee dyed spotted paper, and on back we have this kind of double pocket on this steampunk paper. So in this back pocket we have a large journal card that's been collaged with this fish on a vintage Little Mermaid storybook page, and on back there's just this little fish stamp here. And then in the front where this scuba diver is, there's a fish hiding behind in the pocket, and then this little image of a sailboat. And some more cabbage dyed log paper. And this is avocado dyed paper, and we have on it a vintage paper clip with a cog there, and more, that's more of that watercolory water paper. And then this journal card, which is these sort of merfolk and fish and a salamander, and I've added some steampunk kind of pieces here with cabbage dyed paper on back. More of my dyed paper. Then this is a long silk bamboo eco printed piece of fabric from the other side. I'll show you what's happening over there in a moment. And then this is just a nice page edge, lots of journaling space with some steampunk and fish die cuts or cutouts, and then some fabric here. And then we have this fish belly band, and this is where the long piece of fabric is coming from. This squid journal tag that just pops in behind our fish belly band here, like so. And I just hung it over the edge because I think it's kind of fun to just have that little sneak peek of something to come on the other side. And then the opposite side, we have this beautiful mermaid, and you'll see stitched on, we have more of that kind of webbing and some lovely fabric. And in behind this paper edging, we've got a cog here on a bulb pin with lots of fish and steampunk stamps, some more dyed paper. This is illustrations from a vintage Jacques Cousteau book of whales, and then some coffee dyed paper that's kind of reminiscent of like beach sand. And it's actually black walnut dyed, my apologies, and this little shell. And then this side is just a couple of mermaids in an embrace, the same ones from the cover of the book, and this is on black dyed paper printed in gold. And then this is large format encyclopedia with a boat on it. You'll see more of it coming up. This is a little specimen card from this book that I found. It says specimen, skin from the tail of a sea serpent, age unknown. And it's just this iridescent kind of sea serpent little window. And then this is from a vintage Grimm's book. It's the story of the Little Mermaid, blank on the back, just a nice little piece of stationery, just a little book plate. And then this is a greeting card of this beautiful whale. And on this side, we have a lot going on. So first of all, you've got this, and this flips out, and it's actually on both pages. So hopefully I'm centered properly and you can see the whole spread. So this is a large squid. So on this side, it has this large print cabbage dyed encyclopedia behind it, behind the image itself on both sides. So on this side, I've used it as a belly band, and we have this barracuda tag that just pops in here, and over here it says glittering magical beings. Then you fold that in for more journaling space, and there's a little astronaut hanging from kelp here, or a little scuba diver, I'm sorry. Although he does kind of look like an astronaut. I guess that's the whole steampunkiness of this whole thing. And then on this side, we have this pocket with these beautiful fish on steampunk paper. And then the other half of the squid actually completely comes out. It's a big journal card. So together you can see it's a whole image, but then this comes off, and you can also see this is like a serpent that's tangled up with the squid. And on back, we have this little shell, and it's cabbage dyed paper that you can write on. So lots of fun on this page. More dyed papers, some beautiful digitals, some stenciling, and then this is one of my cabbage dyed large format dictionary pages of this beautiful big fish, the northern barracuda. More stenciling. And then this is just a really nice page, a couple of them actually, and then we have a pocket down here of this really cool like illustration of this like alligator type creature, and then in it we have this large journal tag. More dyed papers and this fish up here. And on this side we have this image from the vintage Jacques Cousteau book, and it's a pocket, and it's on steampunk paper, and it has these two journal cards of these two adorable fish, and they just pop in here. And on this side we have this little pipe, and that's a pocket with this this beautiful old image. And inside of it, we have this from a children's book page. It's about like the parts of a clock and pendulums, and it's a journal card. Then on this side, we have Beasts of Water, and then this beautiful coffee dyed large format encyclopedia of a boat. More of the vintage Jacques Cousteau illustration, mostly of whales and porpoises. On this side, we have a large full page pocket with this really cool Raiders of the Lost Art digital die cut of this like lobster woman. And then I took from a really old dictionary the meanings of steam and punk and popped them on here. And it's really funny because like that word didn't exist then, because you know the fiction of steampunk wasn't celebrated in the late 1800s where this dictionary came from. So punk is rotten wood, fungus growing on wood, used as tinder, worthless stuff, rubbish, tosh, worthless, rotten. And then inside we have a large journal card, and this is from this weird book that I got about like how to do all like everything, how to do a whole bunch of different stuff. And I love the text in it, and it's about all different topics. So this is how to keep an octopus. A small octopus can be kept in a marine aquarium if the conditions are carefully regulated. An octopus prefers slightly alkaline water, pH value 8, kept at a temperature of not more than 71 Fahrenheit. It likes plenty of rocks in which to find hiding places. Its natural food consists of mollusks and crustacea, but it will accept fresh meat. So I thought that I put a key here, and I thought that might be something that, like, you know, a traveler or an explorer might be interested in keeping as a note. So not recommended. Please don't keep any octopi in your home. So another dyed page. This page has been inked, and I added a little collage here with a cog and some twine. Then this side we have a pocket with this beautiful flying fish and just amazing colors and some stitching and webbing here and just beautiful, beautiful pages on both sides. And then this is an old book plate, Sunk by a Submarine, 1918, from an old ocean book. And then this beautiful image with some nice netting here and a little cog on a bulb pin. Then we have a grandfather clock here, more dyed paper, and then this is a piece of vellum, so it's transparent, has these beautiful flowers on it, and this is some shibori dyed paper. This is large format cabbage dyed paper, this big image of a frog, more dyed paper, and then this is a pocket, and it's on this beautiful background. And then I made this journal card. It's like a collage with this beautiful fish, and there's some stitching and fabric down here. And It's all inked on back. Dyed papers. And then we have a brass paper clip on this beautiful image of all these seashells on black walnut dyed paper. And then this is a journal card made from the vintage Jacques Cousteau book, and it has a little map on the back. And that just tucks on here. And this is all black walnut dyed paper. And then a collaged pocket on the seashell paper again. And then this is a tag that I made from a vintage book. And some dyed paper. It has this little tiny tear in the center. It's like a fun little hole. More dyed paper. And then this is fabric. It's these fish, and then some, this is like cross-stitch fabric in the back that's blue, and it's on this beautiful oceany paper. And this is another page from that children's book about clocks, and it's the inside workings of a watch, and it's a large journal card. That just tucks up in there. More dyed paper, more steampunk stamps, another collaged pocket with a fish, large format paper, and this is a large tag that I made. It just tucks in here. More shibori paper and vellum. And more dyed papers, and another nice little page edge of all steampunk stamps. You'll see a cog hiding back here on this fabric. And then just a beautiful spread. These are both Louise Heinzel images from her digital kits. There's lots of stitching of different things on both sides. And then more steampunk stamps. This is cabbage dyed watercolor paper. And this is a beautiful old book image of a squid. And then we have a pocket that runs off onto this page, and it's really fun. It's like this kind of steampunk looking machine, like picking up a building. And then I've just collaged behind the pocket with different things. And this is a large journal card made from the vintage Jacques Cousteau book with a ship. And then a phrenology head on some dyed paper. And then just some beautiful digitals. I left one of the steampunk pages just alone if you wanted to maybe decorate it yourself, add photos. And then this is some old typing. This is actually a page from an old book, 1961. Some shibori paper. And then this is from the vintage Jacques Cousteau book. More dyed paper and more of the Merfolk, that children's book with these beautiful images. And we have a vintage brass paper clip on an old Jacques Cousteau book. And then that's a journal card with these amazing whale illustrations. And that just pops on there. And then more beautiful illustrations of Argonaut. Shibori dyed paper. And then a little pocket of a sunfish sitting on its nest, and a couple things in here. So the first is this giant squid. And then this is like the kraken supposed a sepia or cuttlefish. So it's like an image of a kraken attacking a ship, and then this guy who's kind of like a weary explorer. So those both go in there. And then we have a giant squid pocket here on this beautiful oceany paper with these starfish. And then this is a collaged journal tag that pops right up in here. And then we have this image from an old Jacques Cousteau book of him actually down in a coral reef with an octopus. And then that's an illustration of him looking in on an octopus in a tank. And then this is more cabbage dyed watercolor paper and some more steampunk stamps and just another beautiful page with stitching down the side. And at the back we have a large pocket with this flying fish and these sails from a sailboat. And you'll see the end paper here. It's just this beautiful paper. Then I've included a note from the bookmaker, me, in here. And then this is avocado dyed paper. And it has this beautiful image on front, and it's just paper on back for writing space. Then we have this large collaged journal card. And then this is just a little book, a little page from the front of this original book, and it was a note on the type used in this book. The text of this book has been set on the linotype in a typeface called Baskerville. The face is a facsimile reproduction of types cast from molds made for John Baskerville, 1706 to 75, from his designs. The punches for the revived linotype Baskerville were cut under the supervision of the English printer George W. Jones. John Baskerville's original face was one of the forerunners of the type style known as modern face to printers, a modern of the period AD 1800. The typographic scheme and the binding design are by W.A. Wiggins. The book was set up in type, printed, and bound by the Plimpton Press, Norwood, Massachusetts. So I thought that was just a nice little enclosure because it speaks to the history of this actual physical book before it became a journal, and now it will last, you know, a lot longer. It's been, you know, rebound with a new spine and strengthened and sealed, and now it has a little more functionality and purpose. So thank you so very much for checking out this video. I hope you enjoyed watching this flip through and that you enjoyed this journal. If you do, this journal will be going up in my Etsy shop. If you see this video, if it's not already there, it will be. The best way to find my journals on Etsy is to follow me on Etsy. If you favorite my shop, then you get like notifications in your pop-up of all the updates for things that I've added to the shop. I've also got some very scrumptious yarn coming, so thank you again for checking out this flip through. I hope you have a wonderful day. Don't forget to subscribe, and you can find all my social media information down below in the description box. Bye for now.